Hey guys, JH, welcome to Practice Tee. Okay, and it's certainly a different Practice Tee to normal as it has been of late. We've had the terrible weather and with the rain and the wind, excessive winds, and today it's like being on, it's just a little bit hotter than the surface of the sun. And we're down this part of the range where you get absent. The reason I go up with the cows, guys, is that it's very much an area where you get some breeze up there, and down here you get none. The trees just block out the breeze. It just kills you. Kills you. Okay, what do I want to talk about today? I want to continue on a little bit. About, and it might be a little bit noisy. Here's a guy got a little child here. And that's the problem with being down here. You'll get near the putting green and you get lots of social activity going on, as we do in country courses here in Australia. I want to talk about very much the preload, a facet of the backswing. I want to ultimately get to, well, the pre-turn. My hands are just absolutely sweating already, guys. I want to get to the stage, like I'm here, guys. Here I am straight on here. Now when I turn here I look weird, but I'm only into the turn, and I want to get to the stage where I'm here. I'll know when I'm at the top of the swing and I've got the amount of shoulder turn that I need in the golf swing when I get the strain on that trail knee there. When there's a strain on that trail knee, when I turn that shoulder, the trail knee loads up. Now that means that I've got a lot of shoulder turn at address. When I've got no pressure on that trail knee, I haven't got a lot of turn. If I get to here, there's no pressure on it. But when I get to there, wow, there's a lot on it. And I'll get more buckle in from the lead knee. It'll buckle in more towards the trail side. Now guys, for people that are having trouble starting the downswing, this is something that I've basically had in my swing my whole life, but never, it comes and goes, it drops in and out all the time, for whatever reason. I just lose focus on it, I guess. But I've always thought that what we can do in the backswing, whatever component of the body in the lower body stops moving last in the golf swing, in the backswing, whatever that component is, be it the ankle, the knee, or even just the heel of the foot after it's been lifted off the ground, whatever that component is, it's usually got to be in the lower leg or in the lead leg. I don't bring it up to the hip, because I find that if you get the hip wanting to start the lowest, the downswing, you can really get it taking the midriff and torso and the shoulders and all types of things. But if you just move the last component of the leg that stopped moving in the backswing, it's amazing how that absolutely sequences the downswing. It's extraordinarily so. Now guys, I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday, but when I'm getting into my pre-turn here, for me, when I'm into the pre-turn here, what it does is it pulls up this lead foot. So clearly my foot line is now closed off. And as you saw in the videos the day before, I looked like I was aiming a long way to the right, but that's only because I was right at the top of my backswing. I was fully closed up with the shoulders. But I can't get that preload for me in the backswing. I just can't get that preload for me, or pre-turn in the backswing, if I've got my foot back here. I can't do it. You might be able to do that. I can't. I feel very much out of balance, and I feel like my weight is still back over here. Now I don't want that. I want as much of my weight into my trail vertical axis, which is this trail part of the body here. So to start the downswing, guys, if we wind it up, like Nicholas, someone like Nicholas, and maybe some of you guys that lack a bit of flexibility, that in the backswing you raise the lead heel. If you raise that, well, that's usually the last thing to stop moving, so you just need to put it down. In the downswing, that's what Nicholas did, that's what Sneed did. That's how Sneed got his bow-legged look. Sneed was there on the backswing and he went like that. He actually moved his heel that way. He actually went like that, and that's how he got that bow-legged look. Bobby Jones had it huge lead heel lift in the backswing. This was Bobby Jones, and Bobby Jones just went like that. And that's amazing, because what that does, guys, it pulls on the club head and drops the club back, and it stops you heaving the club out. So whatever component it is for you, if it's that lifting of the lead heel, the inside of the lead knee, stopping as the last component, then it's got to be the first thing to start the downswing. And Nick Faldo told me once that his key to start his downswing was always a radial move of his lead knee, like that. And you watch Nick. Here's Nick at the top of the swing, and then he just does that. He does that. Very Sam Sneadish. Here, and he just did that. And it does, guys, it pulls on the head of the club. So that's some way to start your downswing. Whatever component of that lower leg is the last thing to stop moving in the backswing, it's got to be the first thing to start moving in the downswing, if you are to eliminate heaving the club with the hands and invariably, catastrophically, outside the line on the downswing, outside the target line. So that's just, but it is some, and guys, believe it or not, for me it's the linchpin when I've got pitch shots. I've got 45, 50 yard pitch shots. That's really what I key on. I get here, and I just, here, and my lead knee, here, and I just turn that lead knee radially to the left. That's all I do. And it's amazing how it times the hands on crucial shots. Can't hang on to the club, guys. It's just... it's brutal. Absolutely brutal. And I haven't hit a shot yet. I feel like an old, overheated camel at the moment. When I had all my skin cancers burnt off this morning. You know, when you're out in the Australian sun, guys, like I've been my whole life, you know, you just get them all over you, and you've got to stay on top of them because they can turn into a melanoma and ship you off to that great golf course in the sky very quickly. So you have to, and for anybody that is out in the sun, guys, make sure you get your 6 monthly check of, you know, spots on your body, because a melanoma can come up so quickly, and once they're up, they're very, very difficult to eliminate. So here we are, guys. We're here, the knee, and then I'm trying to do that. Oh, I was talking about the pitch shot. I've got a 6 iron here. I don't, but I'll just grip it down. But if I've got a little pitch shot here, and I take the club back here, I just feel that I go here, like with the knee, here, here, here. It's almost like there's an elastic band or a bungee cord attached to my lead hand off my lead knee. I get here, and then I just do that. Just goes back, and it just pulls it through. So you can really see that happening. You can really see that happening. And that's the way to get the feel of it. Whoops. So I've got so much load now and the grass is wet here. It rained this morning, but I've got so much load in my lead foot now that as I go back with rubber spikes on, your foot wants to turn. That's how much load I've got in that foot. As I turn this in here, it wants to turn my heel that way. Did you see that? My heel just went like that, and it will happen on wet grass with rubber spikes. That's why I don't like rubber spikes. But that's an indicator, guys. As I'm taking the club back here, as I'm turning here, that foot is actually wanting to do that, because I'm getting so much auguring effect down that lead leg. It's quite extraordinary. Yeah, so just work on that, guys. That's a great way to start the downswing and to get the swing sequenced from the ground up rather than from the top down, so to speak. Okay, where were we? Okay, I was talking to Bill Phillips. Bill sent me a video, and we were talking about with my reverse wind. My reverse wind is clockwise on the backswing, clockwise on the downswing, and continue the wind so that the swing only goes in one direction. It goes clockwise, clockwise, clockwise. And as Martin Ayres used to say, the swing is only one direction. You don't have a two-direction function in the golf swing. It's wind clockwise, and on the downswing it's a continuation of that. But that's what I do, and then I get a real big elastic band wind up in my hands and forearms, so that when I come down here I can just fire the club. I come in here and we've got like the rubber band on the little aeroplane, the model aeroplane, where we wind it up and then we just let it go. That's what I get. I don't try and hold that through the ball because I just carve it, and my lead arm would be too far away from the lead side of my body. So I'm going to wind it open here, come in here, and then it'll just absolutely fire itself by itself. Now, in talking to Bill Phillips, Bill came up with an interesting variation of the word reverse wind. Because I was talking about reverse winding, but I was talking about reverse winding and on the downswing. And Bill came to me, sent me a video and said, "JH, well, I'm doing this, and I've come up with this, and it's amazing." And what Bill's done is Bill is actually he's actually going the opposite way. He's winding as he goes back. He's taking the club back like that. He's turning his hands this way, turning his forearms this way, and he's shutting the club face down here, and he's keeping it shut on the downswing and holding that shutness in the shot through the ball. Now, I had an experience in that about 25 years ago, just because I had an injury in an elbow and I couldn't wind it the other way. I had to wind it the other way, and I only did it for a few weeks till my elbow got better. But when I think back, I used to smash the golf ball. Okay, the club felt really shut at the top, but I used to just smash it, just dead straight and hard. So I thought, I'm going to give this a go because I think it's a great idea. And if Bill Phillips is hitting it, he said he's absolutely thundering the ball with it. Now, it's essentially this, guys. Look at that club there is like 30 degrees closed, and we keep doing it, and we get to the top here. Now, that's got to be facing the sky. So that's dead, in normal conventional terminology, that's dead shut. But if the golf club starts out in that configuration there, and you just take it to there, that's not shut, that's just square. Okay, Bill is advocating turn a little bit of shutness into that squareness. And I agree with him. I haven't hit a shot yet, but what I did notice in just fooling around with it at home in the car park, after Bill mentioned it to me, is it felt like I had an enormous amount of wind in the backswing here. And I'm just keeping it there. I'm just keeping it shut, and then just keep winding it back the other way. Just goes back, as opposed to open. We're not going that way, we're going the complete opposite direction to my reverse wind. My wind starts off normal, clockwise to the right, and it stays clockwise coming down. Well, Bill's goes anti-clockwise from the start and stays anti-clockwise on the downswing. And I guess you could call it a shut-to-shut action. Now, what does it feel like? It feels like that here, and on the downswing it feels like that. See the club there? It feels like that. That's what it feels like. It's not like that. But if you are to maintain the shutness, there is such a word, or the closed orientation or aspect of the blade, if you are going to maintain that orientation in the head, then you have to feel that the club is doing this. On the back, you have to feel like we're shut, we're still shut. And we're going to hold it here. We're going to hoik it. The Scottish word is hoik. And that's what they used to do in the old clubs. They used to hoik the ball. And because the clubs had so much torque, they wound it open on the backswing, and then they had to wind it shut on the forward swing. Some guys actually wound it shut on the backswing and then wound it even more shut on the through swing, but that was called hoiking. And that was a hoik type shot, like when you see that type of thing. Now, I haven't tried it at all, but I've got to tell you that I feel that the way it is, it's a very powerful move, and I think it's got a lot of potential. And again, guys, all this stuff is absolutely, unequivocally options that people can do. And Bill Phillips and I will not stop developing the Channel Lock golf swing. We will keep developing it, because I don't believe there is any such thing as a final product golf swing. There's always a variation. Mo Norman said you can always get better and you can always swing better. And I believe that totally. And I think that this is a great addition to anybody's mechanics and protocols. So we're going to take it back. We're going to shut it. Now, guys, there's the first shot of the day. Little half shot, look at that. Now that's where it finished. As a feeling. Clearly wasn't like that when I hit the ball, but I have to get that feeling in my brain that it's going to be like that when I hit it. Now that ball went dead straight with about a 1 yard draw. The first shot of the day, and a little tight little golf swing. But it went beautifully. I mean, exquisitely. Little short golf swing. Now you can do that, guys. So the feeling there is shut to shut to shut. It's here. You want to feel, that you look like that. Now the good thing about that, see what happened there when I did that? When I took that back here and I got shut to shut to shut and I went like that, see how that drives the weight down that vertical axis? It drives it straight down that vertical axis, which is what we want in Channel Lock. It's firing the weight behind us and vertically down. It has to, because the trail arm is doing this. Now it'll do that until it gets in, and then it's got to fire. And again, guys, it's part of, and I guess I would probably, the reason that this interested me was that I'm trying to get a pre-turn, a pre-shoulder turn, get it over and done with at address. Now, why can't we get a situation occur or evolve where we've got the release of the club already done at the top of the swing? It's already there. Impact position is at the top of the swing. It's done. And Bill Phillips and Tinker, when you told me that today and I got off the phone, I thought, wow. My slant on this is that this is a way of getting your impact position dialed in at the top of the swing. So it was a brilliant discovery by Tinker Bill. And the day that I get together over there with Tinker and Matt Gray, it's going to be an idea fest, I can tell you, because I can imagine what we will pull out of each other. Once we start bubbling, it's going to be off the scale. There will be stuff come out that has never ever been suggested ever in the realm of golf swing mechanics. I know that, and I can't wait for that day. It'll be great fun, because Bill's got a very fertile mind, and so has Matty Gray. All the guys, Bob Cunningham, everybody, Steve Walters, everybody's always out there every day, guy. They're trying to work things on the golf swing. You can't rest on your laurels. You really can't. You can have a base protocol, and for guys who are not that sort of, exploration minded, yeah, I can understand that you wouldn't want to go down here. But guys like Bill and I think this is going to be a part of my protocol. I think it's got that much potential. It just feels unbelievably good. Now, guys, there's 2 shots in a row. And look at this, look. But that's where I was at address. Look, I just put the club down, there it is. I have the face shut down because of channel lock, because I'm heading into out, I have the face shut down about 5 degrees, 6 degrees. So because I'm heading out across the line, the path is in to out, face is closed, gives me the little draw. You guys that think that open club face into out path produces a draw, well, let me tell you, it never happened on any robot that I was ever exposed to, ever. Not ever. And they're changing. I see that the ball flight laws are being revised as we speak. I think for that reason. I think a lot of the data coming in is just, I call it fictitious data. I know, guys, I've been on the robot. Spent 4 days on it. We were doing it, setting it up. Into out, club face close, push draw. Into out, club face open, straight push. Into out, club face really open, drop away, push drop away. It's all there. And we did, conversely, we did it the same way, going the other way. Anyway, it's a digression, which JH is good at. Okay, guys, just, so here we are. I'm reverse winding it here, look. Here. Rewinding it here. Yeah. Now that probably looks really shut at the top. So we're going to wind it shut. Look at this, guys, look. First 3 shots of the day. Good on you, Tinker. That's what I like. Okay, I'm a fast learner. And I can sort of conceptualise, driving down in the car, I had that in my brain, what I wanted to do. And I can do that. Billy Phillips, I never want to hit the ball any better than that. I can tell you right now, Bill, that your shut-to-shut reverse wind is in my golf swing right now. That's what I love about channel lock, guys. The fertility of people's minds and the openness that we have in our channel here. Anybody's suggestions. I don't own channel lock. I might have invented the original base process, but it can be developed. Like the automobile, the first guy that was with Benz invented the automobile, and with the base idea still there, but they're different cars today, aren't they? And they were from that day on. And that's what I want to do with channel lock. I want to just develop it. So listen, I'm winding it here, guys. Billy, it doesn't get any better than that. Contact does not get any better than that. Guys, it's 5 shots. I thought about it coming out. It's just extraordinary. Most amazing thing ever. Okay, I'm just going to cut it off because my camera's been acting up lately. If it goes any more than about 15 minutes, it just shuts down for some reason or other. So I'll turn it off, start it up again, and I'll come back.